My name is Belinda Doveston, and it is wonderful that you are here with me for our weekly I Ching forecast for the week commencing the 18th of May 2026. Last week we had a locked hexagram, and what a lovely hexagram to get in a locked position. Locked meaning fixed, no changing lines, right? No second hexagram, no little pops of change to deal with, just one central message for us to double down and pay attention to. And we had the doubling of lake in hexagram 58, joy, last week, really tuning us into where we find joy, where we share joy. What do we choose in life to bring us moments of wonder and openness? And where can we teach and share and communicate? It's the collaboration hexagram. So how did you feel for that? I know a couple of my friends said, I'm not feeling joy this week, but maybe it's coming later in the week. So where did you find it? Did it find you? And what were you thinking about and tuning into as to where you find the joy in your life? And also where you share and you express and you communicate and you're in that flow of wonderful energy and synergy with other people. That is the power of hexagram 58. So some experiences came up for you. Do share. I had an experience of going on an unexpected walking tour of my own city, and it was just absolutely fabulous. It was a wonderful experience of popping in here and finding these new discoveries and just being in the moment and being in an experience of wonder at the journey. And I really thought so much about this hexagram of being in those moments where we're just experiencing it. We aren't trying to head trip it or pre-plan it or control it. We are just in the experience and we just are smiling from the inside out. All right, so that was the week that was. And let us now focus our attention into this coming week. What are we dealing with? What is the I Ching asking us to pay attention to more than anything else? Remember, we all have our own stuff and our own processes. What these hexagrams do is when I cast the coins, I ask the same question every week. What should we focus on for the week ahead? I cast the coins, that gives us our hexagram. Sometimes there's changing lines and an outcome hexagram, and that gives us the flavor of the week. Something that is a collective we can all work to focus on, that we share. It does not mean this is the only thing that you are dealing with this week, but usually there's a little sign that pops up and you think about this hexagram that comes up, you think, ah, here it is. Okay, now I know how I can strategize this moment. And that's what these processes, these episodes are all about. Okay, so the week commencing the 18th of May is a hexagram called 37, the family. Oh yes, family issues this week. When we think about family in the context of this hexagram, we are talking about our blood family, our adopted family, our chosen family, our work family. People who live and work together, right? The household, the hearth, the home. Okay, so we have to think about family, not just in terms of the individuals, but the structure called home, which can be your work home and your home home. Okay, so this week we are making sure that when we are thinking about this hexagram, we are applying it in understanding our work family and our love family or our home family or our biological family. And families are all kinds of dynamic structures, so this applies to no matter where you might find yourself, no matter what structures in life your family manifests for you right now. That is your family. People who live and work together, especially people in the same home. Okay. This hexagram is really about the power of the family, of being in a place where you have a place to go that is safe. Not many people have a perfectly safe home environment. There are a lot of people who don't have a place of safety. And if you do have one, it is a beautiful thing to be very grateful for. A place where you can come back to, where you can be yourself. You can degauss, okay, from the workday. You can share with others in a household, right? Whether that's biologically, right? You are together because you are biological, or you've made some choices. Okay, this can even be your flatmates, right? Whatever family means to you. And you're sharing the space and you're sharing this experience of life with these people. sometimes our family members, okay, biological or not, drive us bonkers, okay, and we drive them bonkers. So we spend this week really thinking about our family unit. And, there's certainly a lot of thoughts in the world around how important the family unit is, right? And we're not just talking about a very stereotypical family. We're talking about when a family unit has the right people in the right places, irrespective of who they are, and the structure holds together, and there's a hierarchy and everyone understands their roles. There's a container that holds the family within it. Okay, you can imagine that as being the house or the home. And then within that container are people with more concentrated roles towards the center of the home. It's like the babushka dolls, right? You have the parents symbolically holding the space inside the home, which holds them. And then from there, you have the siblings, and then you have grandchildren, and you have the structure that's held together in these layers. Okay. The layers work when they're all in the right place and everyone knows their roles and responsibilities and plays from that position. We have problems in families where there's power struggles, where there's competition, where there is a power structure that is quite an impediment to everyone being themselves. There are power dynamics in families. All right. And when a family works is where everyone knows their place and the family works. No matter what that dynamic is, it has a structure where everyone has their place, everyone is accountable, but it also has the freedom to be themselves. Okay, that's what we are working towards, whether that's in a workspace or whether that's in a home space. So we look this week, two things. How do we create more harmony in our families, work and home? How do we overcome our own potential tendency to unravel peace and harmony and good hierarchical structure? Are we the ones who are always, trying to compete? I've seen families where fathers and sons compete for the mother's attention. It's not pretty. Okay. All right. So where might you be playing a role in creating more harmony? And if you're the one that's disharmonizing, okay, if that's a word, what can you do differently? What can you do to support someone who is struggling to find their place in the group? All right. How can the group support that person to find their place so that the pieces fit together? Same thing, you can think all those things, apply them in a work context, in a team. All right. What can you do differently to create harmony in that home? We think about a warm meal, we think about sitting around the table, we think about the hearth, the fire at the center of a household in ancient times. And perhaps this really is about having more meals at the table. The table and the dinner is the one time in the day where a family can gather around and decompress, talk about the day, share interesting stories, be together, and sit around that table and commune. And when we sit and watch TV with our meals on our laps, we're all staring at the screen. There is no connection, no relationship, no bond that is being built in that moment. Even if we're laughing together at something and we're enjoying it, if we're eating, we're not having that moment to connect meaningfully with each other. We spend the whole day on devices and on computers. The table is a powerful thing. So maybe that's something that you can do differently. Think about what brings harmony into your home and what brings disharmony, and then rush in to bring harmony. If someone else is not doing it, you rush in to create the harmony. In a work environment, if there's discord, doesn't mean not dealing with the issue of conflict. This is about creating harmony, all right, resolving the issue in the family dynamics and the power struggles that happen in teams, where people want to be the leader, another one is the leader, and there's this whole, bashing of chests. All right. We want to create harmony. This is the key thing we need to think about for the week ahead. There are 3 changing lines, the 3rd position, the 5th, and the 6th. Okay. So that means quite a lot of turnover of energy, right? A lot of dynamic energy for this week. Let's get into those changing lines. In the 3rd position, okay, this line talks about your temper may flare. Okay, you might get really cross or angry or frustrated with someone, all right, who is not doing what they're supposed to do. So this is an easy one to think about in a workplace where you have someone who reports to you or someone in the team who is supposed to have done something and they haven't done it, and you go for them, right? And you kind of regret it a little bit later. You kind of, oh, like I was a little bit over the top there, right? I went a little bit too far. And you feel that regret. Okay, we've all had that experience where we, wah, 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 wah. Okay, we respond to an issue around us and we respond a little tougher and we really tough and hard and we like really lay down the law and we like, okay. And then we regret it afterwards and we're like, oh, was I too rough? Was I too demanding? You know, what's going on here? All right, those are the types of things that this week, as we start up with, is going to bring to our attention. What does the I Ching say about this situation? Well, you might feel really grotty about it, okay? But at the end of the day, laying down the law and putting in place a boundary and managing an issue where someone's not doing what they're supposed to do or is behaving in a way that's inappropriate or breaking down the harmony, whatever it is, in the long run, it is better to vigorously deal with that issue and go too far than be laughy about it. Ha 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 ha. All right, everyone laughs. No one really deals with the issue. We laugh it off. Okay, that is far worse than going too far in the situation to the extreme. There are other changing lines and other hexagrams where they say, don't go too far. But if you find that you go in for the kill on this issue and you feel regret, in the long run, it's better than doing too little. We think about this line, we think about cleaning out the house, getting the house in order, making sure everyone understands their roles and responsibilities, putting down the policies and procedures and the guidelines, the principles in the home, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. It's like getting it sorted out. So whatever this is, there's some aspect where there's an issue, where something has happened or a situation has evolved, and it has evolved because the house is disorderly and you need to clean out the house. This might literally be a person or a situation which needs to be removed from your house, whether it's your work house or your home house. Sort out the mess, get it in order, reassert the boundary, put it in place, because down the line that is going to be better for you and for your business, for your family, than just brushing it off and saying, we'll deal with it at another time. Okay, so bear that in mind. In position 5 is a wonderful power line, and this is the benevolent king. We have definitely had this line before. The benevolent king, all right, sits as the ruler, all right, the male king, male power. Even if you're female, it doesn't matter. It's the idea of male power, where the king is loving and gracious and fair. Okay, the benevolent king, where the power is balanced and has heart. This is how we need to approach something this week, where we bring our benevolent kingship to the story and we bring wise power that has heart and fair judgment. Okay, so if you face an issue where you've got to sort out something in your family, this is the right way. This is the way we should encapsulate what leadership means in the home or in the workplace. Be the benevolent king. And you'll find maybe towards the middle of the week, this is a situation that comes up for you, and the other line of having a little temper flare is earlier in the week. But bear that in mind. Where can I be this week in my home and in my workplace a benevolent king? Kind, wise, fair, just, all those words, but be in your power. Being all those things does not mean you are no longer a king. It means you are a king in power. You are a leader in power with all the benevolence you need. And being able to give back and being able to help people and putting the people, the tribe, as being essential to the decisions you make. That is what a benevolent king does. His people are everything, but he rules with power and love together. Okay, we can be that kind of leader. In the 6th position, our last changing line, this can sometimes be a challenging line because it's a transition line as we're heading out the top of the hexagram. But this line is really wonderful, and it talks about the wise woman who is the head of the home. Okay, so we had the king, the power, the male power, and now we have the female power where, you see these families where, actually the mother is the king. Okay, she's the queen. She is holding the space. And it really is the power of really being the master of the house. That energy, we've got the king there, but this changing line is being the master of the house, and how blessings come when the master of the house thinks about the people, thinks about the long-term consequences, holds the thing together, holds the vision, and has mastered this house, right? Everyone's in order, everyone's happy to be where they are, everyone's well looked after, everyone's productive, everyone's making a contribution in the best way they can and being rewarded for that. When we are the master of our house, we unlock massive power into our homes and into our workplaces. And so there's two interesting changing lines this week. Once we get through our little temper tantrum, which might be necessary, we certainly clean up the house, we get that organized, and then we step into our power. We master the house. This is the thing. We master it with our female energy in the 6th line. We master it with the male energy in the 5th line. And we are unified and focused and mature and wise in holding this whole thing together. That is what we're being asked to step into this week. That leads to a second outcome hexagram, okay? Return hexagram 24. That's where we land. Hexagram 24 is all about the light coming back after a period of darkness. We have had this hexagram quite often, on and off for monthlies and weeklies for a while. And you can see from the structure of the hexagram, a whole lot of dark lines, okay, the winter. And here we have the little seed coming in, the spring coming into the picture, moving up, bringing new energy into the situation. You know how I love talking about the bear in the cave after the hibernation, to the long winter and the long sleep. And the bear starts to move, okay, and he's starting to figure out, whoa, where am I? What's happened? And starts to get ready to emerge out the cave. We're not yet in the process of jumping in and grabbing all the salmon. Don't I wish it? We are moving out the cave. Okay, we are turning back to better times. We are returning back to things at work. We are getting back to what we're supposed to be doing. We're getting back to the path we should be on and the way of thinking that is most aligned with where we need to be right now. We are getting back to where we should be. We might have drifted off a little, okay, of our own trajectory. We're coming back to where we should be, or we are coming back to better times, or we're coming out of that cave, and after long struggles, we're getting somewhere. The glimmer is there. We're moving out. And maybe it is connected to that time last month where we had the same hexagram. Maybe that kind of energy is coming back, the return, another layer of emerging out of the cave, things starting to feel easier. All right, we can do this. Wonderful energy. We have family around us who love us, who care for us, work and home. And we are needing to be the kings of our mansion, the masters of the house, and take charge and lead and care for others and put in place boundaries when there's slippage and make sure everybody knows what they've got to do to make a contribution and then does so. It's a wonderful energy for us to work with this week, and I wish you all the best doing so. If you enjoyed this episode, a like, a thumbs up would be super. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the follow button for the podcast. And I'll see you next week for our last weekly forecast for May. Because then after that, we're into June. Who could believe it? Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.